Hey there, YouTubers. Me again. Finally, by popular demand, I've got subscribers that are going, when are you getting back to the Corvette? They don't mean the C4. They mean this C3. This car I've had for a long time, 20-something years. And she's metamorphosized over the years, and I restored her when I first bought her back in, 20-something years ago. And since then she's gotten a big block, since then she's gotten a 4-speed, and since then she's eaten a camshaft. So that's where we're at now. But if you'll go back and watch some of the videos on this car, the transmission was also leaking. I put in the 4-speed, and when I did, I just threw the transmission in there fresh off, out from under the bench. And it was leaking in the middle. There's a little plate in between. It was leaking in there. So got that fixed as well. And you can watch all that on previous videos, and I'll try to link them all together in a playlist for you. But now I've still got 9,690. It was 91 last week. 90 things to do. But I said, no, enough. We're working on the Vette. I have been doing stuff for everybody else. I've been cutting trees. I've been fixing lights. I've been doing everything but fun stuff. And this channel was supposed to be out fun stuff. So we're going to do the Corvette today. I've got more lumber to cut. That tree I dropped, I still have to cut that up for firewood. Still got another tree to drop, and it's actually a nice day for doing that because it's a little bit cool today. But no! Enough. Enough is enough. I'm going to play today. And you all are going to play along with me. So, I'd love to put the cam in and get this thing running, but I'm going to go ahead and try to get the transmission in first. And that shouldn't be that hard. I mean, it's, just sliding it in, really. I've got the clutch already in. Do have to put the bell housing on. And I do have to clean up the cross member. That's going to take a couple of minutes because I got to stick it in the old tank and, clean it. So, I will fast forward through the mundane stuff for you. And the rest of it, let's have some fun today. But back to C3, it's a 76, for those of you who don't know, it's a 76 C3, 454, 4-speed, posi traction, 12-volt Corvette. Stingray, it's a Stingray, okay? Let's get started. What many of you probably don't realize is normally when you're in your shop, you're playing music, right? You got the radio cranking, you're having a good time. Yeah, and like if it's cold out, you got the heater going, or if you got fans going, if it's hot out. When you YouTube, you can't do none of that. Well, not at my level anyway, because the sound just picks up on the camera and you can't hear nothing. So we suffer with the heat, we suffer with the cold, and we can't play no tunes. You get to hear tunes if I put them in the video, but I don't get to listen to any when I'm working, so I hope y'all appreciate that. It's no big deal. I enjoy being with you all, even though I can't see you all. Well, I can a little bit. If I squint real hard. But this is the first step. I've got to clean my cross member. It is nasty. I did not clean it the last time I did this job, and I regret that. So this time we're going to clean it. The thing is, if you will look back, I think, what video was that? There was a video that I did where I cleaned in this tank, I think with the cylinder heads or something, and this solvent turned my fingernails black. It was crazy. So I have learned. I have chemical gloves, and so if you're going to use a cleaning tank, you might want to get yourself some chemical gloves. So far, I've been able to use these over several times because they're not real stretchy. They're kind of like those dishwashing gloves, So put these on so that my fingernails don't turn black, and I can't imagine that being real good for you if it does that. So, then I got this big kahuna of a... this thing is ugly. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this because I'm pretty sure this isn't going to be super interesting just sitting here cleaning on this, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm going to just be doing this for about 15-20 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and, well, I don't even know if there's any point in you watching that, so I'm just going to go ahead and pause the camera, and I'll see you in a little bit. it's time to get the bell housing on. This thing's not the lightest thing in the world. Let's see, did she go right on? No, definitely not. There should be 2 little alignment pins. It's usually not quite this difficult. Oh, there it goes. I'm just not high enough. Is that what it is? Is she in the hole? Yep, she is. And then you gotta get a bolt caught, because if you don't, it's just gonna fall right back out again. There's one. Should hold it. And here's another. Corvette, when they designed it, did not exactly give a ton of room to get these bolts in and out. The good thing about it is I've worked on this car previously, so none of the bolts are stuck, if you know what I mean, like bad threads or anything like that. Now there's 2 longer ones. One here, I believe. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what I believe. Never mind, I don't know what I believe. I'm going to put this one on this side. I'm going to go ahead and suck up the bolts. If I have to use a long extension to do so. Very, very long. If you'll notice, I don't know if you can see it in the video, there's a little bit of surface rust starting on this pressure plate because she's been exposed all this time. Even in the shop, it gets damp in here with a lot of rain, and it gets pretty tropical around here sometimes. So we got the other 2 way up. Here we go. And we'll sock them down, and I'll be back. Got a hydraulic throwout bearing in this particular vehicle. I kind of preset the bleeder. I'm going to see if that's in a good spot. Yeah. Nope. I'm probably going to have to turn it downwards. I don't know why I didn't just go straight out with that. Could go that way some. So let's loosen it back up and turn it a little bit. Now I've got the line tucked way up in here because I wanted to keep it above the master cylinder. That way it wouldn't have leaked all my fluid out. So now I've got to find it, which I think I zip tied it. I did. I zip tied it to keep it from falling out. I'm going to get me some snippers. Snip that out of there. I may, and then again I may not, take a bath in brake fluid when I do this. I managed to get it out without taking too big of a bath. So I'm kind of hoping that this thing being stubborn. It's at a weird angle. There we go. Alright, now let's take this baby out of here. Try to keep it. Now it just basically screws on to the end of the throwout bearing. It's easier to do this with the transmission out of it, trust me, because there's very limited space in here. Oh, come on, baby. Kind of hoping to stick it out here and do it, but it won't go far enough. I wonder if I could get it to come out. Out. Nope. That would have been a nice thought. But we can get in here. Get our fingies in here. And then my wrench, I think it is, that's what I get for thinking. I thought it was 3/8, it's not, it's 7/16. Yay. It's a 7/16, but these are already in there quite well. Just going to tighten this up. It'll kind of, sort of, but not really hold itself in place. Well, that's what I'm hoping anyway. Normally I would like to put it on the transmission and slide it in, but like I said, it's a lot easier to mess with this throw-out bearing when it's she's torqued a little here. She's not going to want to stay. I need to see how it's doing that. I don't want it to do that. So we're going to loosen it back up. I don't want to have that line torquing on the... Here, what we're going to do, I'm going to put my alignment tool in there to hold it in there. There we go. Oh no, that ain't going to work because now I can't get at it. Never mind. Scratch that idea. It was a great thought while it lasted. Alright, so what's happening is once it gets to this point, the line wants to torque a little bit. And I'm not sure how I'm going to solve that. Maybe, because as soon as I start to tighten on it, it's going to want to twist the line. Unless I can somehow hold that line still. And we'll put a little torque on the line. Yeah, it's still going to get it. Well, I guess I'm just going to have to deal with it. Now I've got my special tool, and I'll show you that. I've done an entire video on just aligning the Corvette shifter, so you can look that up if you want to. I'll also put it in the playlist and link it to this one. But I'm going to go ahead and put these rods in. They should, I did not move them, so they should, keyword should, line right up. But, you know, there's always that remote possibility that it's going to be off. But I've got the alignment tool, and I actually made a new one since I made the, oh, maybe I better tighten those bolts first. Yeah, let me tighten those bolts first. There we go. Alright, banging my head like 9,000 times already. Gonna take this Carter pin out, or E-pin, or whatever they call these things. Well, actually, let me think. Do it on this one. I think, if I'm not mistaken. Boy, that's way off. Wow. Yeah, that's way off. That's amazing. I was off that much. And this one, that one's off a little bit too. How about the reverse? Reverse is also way off. Wow, okay. So, we're going to have to readjust. I actually made a little bit better tool, and I will show you that tool here in a few minutes after I'm done. But what we have to do now is I'm going to start with this one, because we're going to cover that one up with this one once we get it done. So, let's go ahead and pull this out and get the cotter pin out, or E-zip, well, I don't even know what they call these things. E-clips, whatever. Alright, now, the idea is this should go, see this is in dead neutral, see there's, it can't go in either gear, she's right in the middle on dead neutral. Alright, so this should be right in that hole too. So, let's get a wrench, a wrench, and unhook that. Whoop, that's the wrong size. And loosen these things up. Did I hit my light? I sure did. Alright. Come on. Holy Moses and Aaron. That thing. There it goes. Whew. Man, oh man. So I'm going to keep turning this, the back nut, until this falls right in there, which is probably going to put it all the way to the back, I'm guessing. It should just plop right in. I thought I had this lined up pretty good. Of course, it could have moved while I was doing all this. Yep, she's going to go all the way to the back. You know, lighting is the absolute hit when it comes to doing this. Now this, wow. There, whew, just barely made it. Alright. Any more and it would have been, I wouldn't have been able to, I would have had to shorten the rod or bend it or something. We could take it down here and snug it up. Put it in there. Perfect. Oh boy, that was a good one. Alright, let's go ahead and put the washer and the clip back on it. This one's always kind of a fun one because it's where it's at. Come on. I hate when that happens. It has gone into the abyss, never to be seen again. Dang it. This one is also off quite a bit. Wow. These are 9/16, by the way. Now, it's better to go watch that video, but I did use a very thin, I actually used a modified Slim Jim, and I'm going to show you the tool I made. The tool, well, if I could just get a hold of the nut here, jeepers crow. What the heck is wrong with my eyeballs here? Alright, here we go. This one I made out of, oh boy. Man, barely I made that one too. Both of these are all the way back on the rod. I made this one out of old saw blades, old jigsaw blades, not jigsaw, what do you, Sawzall, thank you. Whew, man, okay. Made them out of Sawzall blades, and I'll show you how I modified them in a minute. After we get these in, but it's getting late in the day, and my shoulders are giving out. There we go. Whew. Yep. Now, make sure. Yeah, they look like they'll be alright. Let go. Well, I can't tell. Well, anyway. Let's see if I can get that one on. Can't see anything. So let's see if I get the clip on this one. I might have to shut the camera off just in case. It's one of those, you know, have to make up new words kind of things. I can see it, kind of, sort of, but not really. Oh my goodness, can I even get my hand in there? That's awesome. Oh, there we go. We got it. Yeehaw. Okay. Woo. Now, let's make sure these are snug. Oh yeah, he's shifting. Oh yeah, it's not going to move because I have the thing in the shifter's not going to move because I've got the alignment tool in there. And look, see, reverse is off too. Look at that. Reverse is not tight either. I think because if I remember right, I have to take. You guys see that? Okay, yeah. If I remember right, I have to take I have to loosen that up in order to get the rod in there. But since the rod isn't lined up, this tool is a lot better than the other one. See, that's why I had it loosened. Oh, geez, my tool came out. Dadgummit. This has to come all the way forward. My heavens to Murgatroyd, Batman. I promised to show you what the tool looked like. Well, there it is. What that is a hacksaw blade. Or I mean jigsaw, well, sawzall, sawzall blade. And if I can find one, thought I had one sitting here. I guess not. Let me go find one. Now that I think about it, you probably could have used a hacksaw blade too, and it would have been easier. Well. I used one of these. I cut this little nib off of here, and then I just ground this down. And if you'll look, there's basically what it looked like. So just cut that off of there. I narrowed it up a little bit, cut all that away, and then made a little handle. Now that I think about it, it would have been easier to use a hacksaw blade or two. This is actually two put together to try to fill up the gap real good. Problem is, you got to drop that shifter down pretty good to get this in there. So you might want to, I did thin it up a little bit this way, because just to make it easier, and I rounded these corners just so it'll slide in a little bit easier. But there you go, I made a tool. If you just use one blade, that's fine too. It'll be a little sloppier, but it'll still work. Now that we're got the transmission in, drive shaft hooked up, I don't have any of these covers on yet. I'm hesitant to do so until everything's going, but we're going to take a leap of faith. Maybe we'll put that on too. Finish up underneath here. First things first, before I forget, is we're going to go ahead and, oh, I guess I never tightened that up. That's probably good because there's no fluid in it. And that's something you do not want to forget. You forget to put fluid in that baby, and it's going to be a world of hurt. As you've probably seen 100,000 times, I've got this tool that you just pull the handle back. If I can get it to go back, there we go. Pull the handle back, unscrew the top, and pour your fluid in. In this case, you're using 90 weight. All right, 80-90. We're just going to pour it in the top of my tool here. The tool won't quite take all of it, so we fill it as much as we can. It's kind of hard to keep it in the camera. I got the camera pointed way up at the transmission, but we'll try. Just screw this on the top. It is far from leak proof. I think it may have been when it was brand new, and that was probably 20 or 30 years ago. So yeah, it's still like brand new because, you know, only been used several thousand times. All we do is we stick this in here, push the handle forward. And push all that in there. And we'll keep doing that till it's full. Once it starts to pour out like that, you're done. I didn't expect it to come out quite that fast, and I wasn't ready for it. Took just about a quart and a half. I should have taken a lot more than that, but that's all she wrote. Since we're supposed to be leak-free right now, we want to keep it that way. So I want to clean off all the spillage, and that way now let me explain. If you're going to use the adjustable wrench, you have to use this side, because this says, where is it? Somewhere on here. Nope, this is a metric one. I used the wrong wrench. This one says 300 millimeter. So this is a metric adjustable, and I should have used a standard, but it worked. Okay, if you don't get that joke, well, I can't help you. FYI, if you prepare ahead of time and put a bucket, an oil drain underneath the transmission before you try to fill it, you won't need to waste speedy dry that costs money. But nope, not me. Planning ahead is not in my vocabulary, evidently, even though I know it spills. So in my case, keep the speedy dry-handed. Now here's the challenge, trying to get this starter in without putting my fat head in the way. I've actually got it hanging right here, and it had shook loose somehow, maybe during a thunderstorm or something, and I don't know, did it have wire come loose? No, there's a wire hanging here that I don't know where it goes, but it's definitely not going to this starter, because everything is on here as it's supposed to be. So it's probably going to a sensor or something upstairs. So this one, for whatever reason, has a bolt still attached. So we're just going to use that bolt. If I can keep this wiring out of the way. Oh, it's got, come on baby. There we go. Yep, and it has, I've got another bolt. I've got some shims that have to go in here though, so I've got my shims already on this bolt, that way I didn't lose track of them. And if you'll see, shims have this open end, and that'll go on the bolt I just put in. If I can, there we go, and just, well, if I can get it to go, there we go, and just swing it in. Well, sounded like a good plan while it lasted. I guess we got to do the other way around. So let's go ahead and put this one in. I guess you can put all three of these in if you want to. We're just going to go ahead and get this one in. We'll have to swing that other one out. There we go. Alright, every once in a while I'll get especially on some of the videos where I make mistakes, and I'll leave those mistakes in the video. Like this one, right? I decided to, after I was going to do this, and then I realized, oh, I can't do that because of the way the shim is, and I leave it in. And people are like, why don't you edit that out? Why would you leave you making a mistake in a video, especially on the how-to videos, right? Well, truth of the matter is, can't bow body nerfect. That's what it boils down to. And I don't want to portray that I'm perfect. And to be honest with you, I'm not even close. And there we go. My head's probably in the way. Okay. And so I leave my mistakes in there. One, to show that there's no mistake you can't fix, right? And two, in some of the videos, like one in particular I get a lot of, it's of air conditioning. You can't mess it up. Now, old stuff, if you're using R12 or Freeze 12, and you've just got those little shraders, yeah, you can mess those up. But if you're using modern day R134 fittings, you can't screw it up. They only, one goes on one way. It's idiot proof. So even I can work on it, right? So anyway, that's why I leave my mistakes in there. One, because I don't want you people to be afraid to work on stuff because you're afraid to make a mistake. I make mistakes all the time. So if you're wondering why I leave mistakes, that's why. First mosquito of the year. This is giving me a hard time, this bolt here. And I found out that I can, it's all slots that hold this thing on, so I can actually get this started. And I just found that this has got a slotted washer, obviously for the top that I've already installed. Well, you know, anyhow. Now we can put that back on. Yeah, none of these bolts have to come out because they're all slotted. There we go. I'm just going to tuck this one. Oh, cut the fingers. Guess they did that on purpose, knowing that this thing's a humdinger. And this car is a hodgepodge of miscellaneous parts. I actually think this bell housing is for a 57 Chevy or some kind of truck. And the little shield in the front, I'm pretty sure, is for a truck. So, you know. Oh no, don't tell me. Oh, you idiot. Well, you know, remember I was telling you about making mistakes? Well, guess what I just did? Oh, great, can't get that out. We're okay there. We'll be fine. This one's not under the washer. There we go. Okay. Now, this one's not under the washer. I just made my life so much more difficult. There we go. Still there, still there. Jeepers. Well, you know, I gave you that little speech of why I leave the mistakes in there. Well, there you go. I also had to take the starter back out because of the way this goes in. Not this particular piece, but another piece that and I was going to leave this out until I worked out all the bugs, but I'm feeling frisky, you know. I'm thinking, nope, I'm just going to put it all together, and I know it's going to work. I'm feeling confident. The transmission is not leaking. That's the reason I pulled it out, was to fix that leak. It's full of fluid, not leaking. Engine, I've pressurized the oil system numerous times in the past, and so far no leaks here. Of course, it's not spinning yet, but I put a new rear main. You all saw all that. So all that should be GNU too. So with a little bit of good fortune and blessings from God, we won't have any leaks. And we're going to have this baby on the road in no time. Now we have to test the shifter. So I'm gonna just toss this plate back in here. I'm not gonna mount it or anything, we're just gonna stick it in here for testing purposes. All my nuts and bolts are in that ashtray, so I need to put that there. Now, if you've never disassembled a Corvette shifter, there's a little spring up in here, and then this thing goes in here. Whoops. And it goes down like so. Okay, got to turn this. It's got a little slot it goes down into. This has got to come up and down like so. And then you take your knob here, which is deeply recessed. There we go. And there we go. Okay, now testing. 1, 2, 3. Ready? First gear. Oop, is that reverse? This is first gear. Second gear. Third gear. Fourth gear. First gear. Second gear. Third gear. Fourth gear. First gear. Second gear. Third gear. Fourth gear. Now, the big one. Up. Over. And reverse. Woo! Everything functions as it's supposed to. Take it out of reverse. First gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear. Okay, we are ready for contact. Well, of course, we still need to put the interior back together. My windows are not working, so we got to chase that. I will probably spare you all that because, you know, chasing wiring. I think when I put the pedals in, I accidentally unplugged the little brown wire that runs the windows. So that's going to be an easy fix, hopefully. Let's put her in gear. That way she won't roll on us because she's still on the lift. I think we're good. I think we just might end it here for today. There you have it, folks. Got the transmission back in. Got everything hooked up. Got the shifter adjusted. Now there's a better video on how to adjust that shifter. I kind of rushed through it today. Or, well, that's actually yesterday. This is a new day. So please look that up. I'll link it to this one so you can check that out if you're having trouble lining your shifter up. Now Corvettes, this particular Corvette anyway, is a little different than your normal shifter. Normally you have a pin that you stick in and line up. This has a flat piece of stock. Now you can just make it out of almost anything. I made it out of some Sawzall blades. After I did that, I thought about using a hacksaw blade would be a better idea. I think I mentioned that in the other video. But just grind the teeth off it, get it to the right size so it'll fit in the slot, line the slots up, make sure you get it in deep enough to get that reverse gear. That reverse gear is a bugger. If you are not right on the money, it will not work. So anyway, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. A lot of you watch the videos, but a lot of you aren't subscribing. I've got probably, I'm guessing maybe 2/3 of you aren't subscribers. You just like to watch. And I appreciate you watching, but it costs you zero, not a penny, not a dime, not a zero, double zeros even, to subscribe. Helps me out, ooh, mosquitoes, helps me out immensely. So if you wouldn't mind, even if you never plan on watching another video of mine, I'd still appreciate a subscription, if you don't mind. Hit the like button if you liked it. If you didn't, well, I'm sorry, I'll try to improve. Feel free to put something in the comments to help me improve. Say, hey, less of this, more of that, you know, whatever. Or maybe you want some other brands. Well, I probably can't help you there. I only own so many cars. But anyway, just let me know what you would like to see or what you didn't like seeing. Just try to be nice. You know, I'm trying to improve my channel, so I do appreciate any insight you all can give me. Hit the like button if you did like it. If you didn't like it, well, yeah. Oh well. You can hit the dislike if you want. But I think that's it. Tell your friends. But most of all, try that in English. Most of all, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. See ya!